WTVC.com. Closure. That is something a lot of families want when they lose a loved one.
One man says that was robbed from him when he did business with Wichman Monuments in Chattanooga. We first told you about Caleb Dean's story in February. His family paid thousands for a headstone for his brother Casey and never heard from the company again. His story launched a News Channel 9 investigation. Well,
tonight his road to closure has taken a big step. James Torres tells us what's new with the Dean family. James.
Well, Josh and Kim, first I want to show you what it looks like in front of Wichman Monuments here on Brainerd Road. Go ahead and look behind me, or rather near me here. This used to be packed with decorations full of gravestones. Now, ever since the business closed its doors, that's no longer the case here. A lot more of an empty scene. This is also the first time of all the live reports that we've done out here, the first time that we see the lights both on the store and on the sign here. Now, once Wichman officially shut down for good a few months ago and turned over its assets to a third-party company, they gave customers who were unsatisfied still the option to either receive a refund or to get their service headstone completed. Caleb Dean tells me he did get part of his $2,000 check back, but now he finally has a gravestone to put on his brother's grave.
To put an end to a long, tiring, grueling process, it was bittersweet.
Bittersweet to finally have some closure. Caleb Dean lost his brother almost a year ago. He ordered a headstone from Wichman Monuments, a company that had been around for more than 70 years.
When you use a company that's been in business for as long as they have, you go by the track record.
That record now ruined when Dean never heard from them again. He did hear stories from dozens of other people across the region going through the same thing.
It was eye-opening. It was a shock. I never would have expected anything like this to happen.
5 months later, a grand jury gives the company's owner, Trent Wichman, a record of his own by indicting him on 7 felony charges. Jim Holcomb with Chattanooga Monuments picked up more than 100 of Wichman's unfulfilled contracts.
My grandson, who does most of the hard work, even though he just got married about 2 months ago, had been working about 9 o'clock at night, 7 days a week in most cases.
Dean opted for a refund. He only got about 85% of his money back.
The financial aspect of it, that doesn't mean anything. It's the emotional distress and and the hurt and their absence on top of that being there. That's what makes it rough.
He did eventually buy his brother's stone, hoping the slate of his pain would be wiped clean.
My brother's headstone installed on June 26th, and funny thing is that's my birthday.
A birthday now shared with an event bittersweet to the Dean family, but at least now
It's just been a long, tiring process.
There's some closure. Wichman Monuments shut its doors for good earlier this year in March. When asked about Trent Wichman's arrest and indictment, Caleb Dean tells me he forgives him and he prays for him. Right now, we're live in Chattanooga. I'm James Torres, News Channel 9.
All right, James, thank you very much for that live report. Now, Jim Holcomb of Chattanooga Monuments says of the 107 contracts his company picked up in March, there are only 19 orders left to complete. According to court records, the next court date for Trent Wichman is September 20th.